successor, and the BJP central leadership wholeheartedly backed the idea. He hit the ground running and soon emerged from the shadow of Yediyurappa, bringing in legislations like anti-conversion and proposing introducing the Bhagavad Gita in school curriculums. While his government has faced criticism over hijab, halal and banning of Muslim traders from fairs around Hindu temples, Bommai focused on implementing the rule of law. Disciplined and tireless, Basavaraj Bommai is going full steam ahead with his vision of transforming Karnataka into a target-oriented, pro-welfare and comprehensively developed state. As a politician, he is calm and astute, but as a Chief Minister, Basavaraj Bommai is deeply connected to the needs and aspirations of the people of his state.
Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for the Honorable Chief Minister. Sir, I now invite you to the stage along with our Managing Editor Zaka Jacob. Zaka will lead the conversation with the Honorable Chief Minister.
Sir, once again, thank you for inaugurating this CNN News 18 Town Hall in Bengaluru. Last time we met, I think it was 6 months ago, you had just taken office, you were dealing with a lot of fires. Today, 18 months, you've been Chief Minister, you're leading your party into the next election. Tell the people of Karnataka, a state which historically has not voted the incumbent government back in, tell us what you have done in the last 18 months. Not like the video said, unlikeliest of circumstances you became Chief Minister, but today you're leading your party to the election. What has your government achieved so far? What will you tell the voters of Karnataka?
Basically, this term was not mandated to any party. However, in these 5 years, 1.5 years was a coalition government. After that, BJP had taken over. And immediately, as you know, there was a COVID. Then it was followed by heavy floods in Karnataka. But however, these adverse conditions, they didn't deter us or stop us from writing a growth story. When I took over, the revenue collections were almost more than 5,000 crore deficit. And within 6 months, we not only recovered those 5,000, but we added 13,000 crores additionally for our kitty. And as you know now, we are highest GST collection after Maharashtra. We have brought economy back on rails. And because of that, we are able to get a sustainable growth just during the COVID and after COVID too. And we have got very steady agriculture production. And as far as secondary sector is concerned, we are one of the top growing states, highest FDI for last 5 quarters in the country. We are number 1 in innovation. And it has been rated as ease to doing business is Karnataka is number 1. And the investment climate in Karnataka has become a favorite destination for all sectors. And we are most progressive thinking government. We have got policies in place. We have got semiconductor policy in place. We have EV policy in place. We have added R&D policy. We have added employment policy, which is nowhere in the country. Just to say, more incentives, those who give more employment. And as far as service is concerned, the IT/BT, the startups, and the number of startups, including Decacorn, unicorns. We are, in fact, one of the leading states who are driving the engine of growth of our country. And because of this growth, it is not only an economical growth, it's a social infrastructure also we are creating. Just to give a few points, our whole paradigm shift of planning, now we have identified more than 100 aspiration talukas, which were below the normal, state normal. And we are focused on education, health, malnutrition, women and child development. And that has been yielding results now. So we have got a better education infrastructure. For the first time in the history of Karnataka, more than 8,000 school rooms are built in 1 year. Whereas the average was dwindled to 2,000, 1,500. And we intend to continue it for next 2 years so that the classroom to students ratio is very well maintained. Similarly, upgradations of our hospitals at taluka levels, PHC center to CHC centers. Regional imbalances have been taken care. And because of the growth, the employment has increased. Secondly, our government has been a very sensitive government too. We have responded. Therefore, it's a responsible government. We responded to the floods. Earlier, the compensation to the farmers who undergo a lot of losses used to take 1 year, 1.5 years to reach the compensation, that too a meager compensation. For the first time in the state's history, we have doubled the compensation in farm sector. Whatever the government of India gives, we have added equally and doubled the compensations. And all the compensations were given within 1.5 months' time because of the digital platform what we have. That is one of the best digital platform as far as farmers are concerned in the country. And we have been sensitive too. We respond right from health issues. The dialysis is a major issue, people suffer. We doubled the cycles per day in the dialysis. Chemotherapy cycles we doubled. Cochlear implant was nowhere there. We started it, giving 500 crores. We are treating the elders for their eye defects and giving them, making them surgery as well as providing spectacles. Not only health, in terms of farmers when they were their distress, we have bought their crops, beet, paddy, ragi, jowar, tur dal, I can name on like this. And also we have responded to the elephant-man conflict, cheetah-man conflict. For the first time, a serious effort has been started. And I have given almost more than 100 crores for that. And we have made a special task force team with technology and other supports. And the progress is really great. And the next one is we are also responsible as far as ecology is concerned.
Sure.
My budget was the first budget in the country to provide green budget, that is to calculate the ecological deficit of the year and try to make good by making eco-budgeting. And this concept has to be expanded further. It has been just in a starting point. But a serious concern has been taken up as a responsibility to make good the ecologist losses in the very next year. Otherwise, the deterioration is so much, probably a day will come where there will be an irreparable loss.
Sure.
So, we have been really across the board, Sarvayapti Sarvasparshi government. So, the growth story should continue. Therefore, to continue the growth story, which is which is something more than inclusive. Inclusive is a small word.
Sure.
Something which is inclusive to everybody and exclusive to animals, to nature.
Okay. So, sir, you have said, you have outlined all the measures you have taken, and you're right, the FDI that came last year, almost 40% of that FDI came to Karnataka, so that is a phenomenal achievement. But politically, let me ask you a couple of things. From 2004, 2008, 2018, all these elections, BJP was the single largest party, but was not able to get majority on its own. Today also, the opposition parties are saying that BJP will not be able to form majority on its own. They're all playing for the hung assembly game. What would you say to that? Congress is already promising, what, 200 units of free power and 2,000 rupees to all the ladies. How would you counter that?
There are two parts in this question.
Sure.
The first one is about BJP and BJP growth. Right from 2004, the BJP was on the growth path. It was a growing curve. And every election it has bettered. From 2004 to 2008, and of course after the split we went down, then we came back. So every time we have grown. Yes, of course, we have not been able to reach the magic figure, but we are very close to that. That means that BJP is able to cover the political landscape every time with every aspect, including social aspect. And the whole strength is our growth, BJP growth story. In any adverse conditions also, we have been growing. And people of the state now has realized that they have to give a decisive mandate. Always a hung mandate has related in a totally a chaos situation, both politically and administratively and development. And I am sure that looking into the track record of two major national parties and one regional party, which are the main players here, I am sure that people will decisively vote for BJP this time, and the growth story will continue.
The first part...
And let me come.
Sure.
And I am one person, nothing very personal about it, but just a approach. There are two ways of playing a game. One way is play not to lose.
Okay.
The other way is play to win. And I believe in the second one, play to win, and we are going to win it.
So the first part that I asked about 200 units of free power and 2,000 rupees to all the ladies of the household. Now everyone in your party from Prime Minister downwards has called this Revdies, or you're giving some freebies. But it seems to work well, particularly in South India.
See, look here. Helping the people who really needs is one thing. Just to gain some political vote bank without any thought process to it. 100% giveaway. This people will not accept it. See, people, however poor he is, he just wants a small help for whatever he is doing. So I believe in strengthening the people who are the bottom of the pyramid, and these are the people who are movers and shakers of economy. So we have to strengthen the people who are toiling and giving them such a programs where back home they should feel proud about themselves.
Okay.
In their job, in their opportunities, and make their life very easy. So there are so many ways of doing things, giving their children good education, giving them affordable, very good health services. This will take away a lot of miseries of a working man. And the giveaway, once again, there is no accountability to it. And giveaway, I don't know, sometimes it creates a lot of domestic issues also.
Sure.
So we believe whatever expenditure they call in social sector, we want to convert it into an investment, into a social structure, human development, and this investment will also ultimately lead the growth story of a state and a nation. And people of Karnataka, as I know, they are very, very proud of their esteem, Swabhimani. And this Swabhimani Karnataka Kannadigas will not really, it's just a promise.
Okay.
And the track record of people who promised is very well known to the people. So they don't buy it.
Okay.
And they can't be fooled all the time. They have been fooled earlier. And there is a saying that we can't fool all the people all the time. And that's going to happen.
Okay, you can't fool the voter in Karnataka. They're a very smart electorate. But tell me, sir, the principal fight you'd imagine in a state like Karnataka is between BJP and Congress. But you look at the newspapers, you look at the media coverage, particularly in the last few days, it seems like the war of words is happening between your party and the JDS. Why are you so worried about a party that may end up getting, by your own account, only 25 or 30 seats?
I am not seeing any war. I don't know what war you are
Sir,
seeing.
it started from when Mr. Amit Shah was here in Belgaum a few weeks ago. Then you are aware of what is happening between Mr. Prahlad Joshi and Mr. Kumaraswamy. You've also responded to that.
No, I responded by the personal attack of Kumaraswamy on
Yes.
Joshi. I never responded for any other
Politically.
things. As far as Amit Shah's statement is concerned, it is once again what I have said, that we need a decisive mandate, and we believe that this JDS party should not be given an opportunity to play around. So we are asking, and there was a rumor which was spread up by my Congress friends that JDS and BJP together. In fact, they have been, last time, they fought like cat and dogs and then they joined together.
Yes.
So they can change colors like any time, but they only comment on others.
So I'm asking you.
So because of that, our clear-cut political stand, we have expressed that. But for that, I don't think there is any war is required for few personal comments.
So I'm asking you a direct question. So are you worried that there could be the possibility, if JDS ends up with 25 or 30 seats, they could tie up again just like they did in 2018?
You have got a very correct question, but you are asking to a wrong person. It is in fact, Congress is more worried about JDS growth.
Getting 25 or 30 seats. Will BJP and JDS tie up if the situation so arises? Will BJP and JDS tie up if the situation so arises?
We are very clear. There is no question of type.
No question of tying up with...
No.
So either BJP wins on its own, full majority, or you are prepared to sit in opposition?
We are going to win.
Okay.
There is no ifs and buts.
No ifs and buts, BJP will win.
Yeah.
Let me put you in a slightly more, I wouldn't say difficult, but so in 2018, BJP ended up with 104 right? And then eventually, of course, the opposition is alleging that you did quote-unquote Operation Kamala. What is your figure for 2023?
2023, we are going to cross 130.
130 seats. Chief Minister has said this in a public platform. We'll call him back after the election.
Certainly.
And you will come. You will oblige us with
I'll be waiting for your call.
Okay. And I'm seeking this promise that just like you're giving us the first interview today, you will give us the first interview then as well, post the election. Okay. Let me now come to some of the other decisions. You had taken a decision a few months ago about giving reservation for Vokaligas and Lingayats. That has been now stayed by the Karnataka High Court. What is your plan to deal with that issue? Because it seems like on the issue of reservation, there is a powerful Panchamshali Lingayats also who are upset that they were not getting a particular category. What is your move to politically counter that?
See, let me tell you, the matter is in the court, so I can't really give the details to it, but I believe that all the communities, the aspiration level has increased. Since all the communities' aspiration to be educated, to be employed, to be self-esteemed has increased, the community feels that they require more reservation. That's how it is not only Veerashaiva Lingayats, all other communities are aspiring for it. But we have to go by the constitution and legal framework. So what we have just done is that in the given framework only, instead of making more number of classifications and giving less opportunity to the more this thing, so we want to classify them in few classifications and rearrange the whole thing so that any aspiration young boy and girl, whichever class he belongs, we have got 32% backward class, he should get that opportunity. That is a basic thing. The social justice can be given by giving constitutionally rightful opportunities. And that is what we are trying to do. And there is a mandate that every 10 years this has to be reviewed. For last 20 years it has been not reviewed. So we have started reviewing it. And of course it will be in the framework of constitution and the different judgments which have been delivered on this subject.
Sir, but don't you think that because the Lingayats are so politically influential, they are 15-16% of the population, BJP has traditionally been the party of choice for them, that this issue has happened 6 months before the elections or in the run-up to elections, you don't think that politically that would hurt you?
See, as far as Lingayats are concerned, they are most matured politically. So they know. See, they have seen a lot of governments.
Yes.
And they have seen the contemporary leadership also. They know that who stands for whom, irrespective of reservation, non-reservation, everything. Some people are making it a cause, and that has been highlighted in the media. But for that, the ground reality is, they know that who stands for their welfare, who doesn't stand. And there's a long-standing history for it. And youngsters are much more aware that who speaks what, and who has done when they were in power, when not in power, and who tried to split the Lingayat community, and who tried to save the Lingayat community. So all these are multiple issues regarding most of the communities, not only just Lingayat communities. Sure. It is not just one factor is going to decide. However, we tried to be very honest about the whole situation, including reservation. And we are getting the whole thing cleared in the court. Once that is done, we will give justice.
So the other issue, I asked this the last time we spoke as well, the other issue is this almost permanent stain or allegation that your government faces from the opposition that it's a 40% commission sarkar. Now you have denied all of this, you have said none of this has been proven in a court of law. But in public perception, what will you say to this
how do you gauge the public perception?
Because that's what the opposition is saying, that this
No,
is
no,
about...
opposition, not public perception.
They are citing
You,
instances...
you expect opposition to sing a love song to me?
No, no. I am asking you, how will you counter the allegation?
See, I'll tell you, it's very simple. Whatever the percentage they speak, let them come out with a case, let them get inquired, and they can put us in dock. In democracy, they have got all the right to say. None of the, till today, not even a single case they are made out. Even the association which tried to do this, they could not, and one of my minister put a case, defamation case in the court, and they could not come out with anything. So they were forced to appear before the court. They are running away from the court. It's all political. And as far as corruption is concerned, not only in this state, entire country, the opposition which is in Karnataka, Congress, coincidentally, Congress starts from C, corruption also starts from C. So, Congress, corruption is part of the Congress culture. And a lot of people experience it, not just me. Even press people also know a lot of things, but they could not say it, that's all. So, the very ingredient of Congress is corruption. And it can't be bifurcated. See, anything which mix in water, it can be bifurcated. But here it becomes a part of it. It has become a part of it. And they are making this noise. And now, a lot of cases have been booked in Lokayukta, which they had closed. One good thing what has happened is, they had closed the Lokayukta, which was one of the important institutions to prevent corruption. Earlier, Ramakrishna Hegde started this. He had given full powers, then he withdrew it. But during our time in last year, 2009 and 10, we gave them powers under Prevention of Corruption Act, and we gave them the status of police station. Earlier, the Lokayukta used to file complaint in the general police station and they have to book a case. We gave the power to Lokayukta to book a case. And after that, when Congress came to power, they closed it. They brought ACB. And courts decided it. And a lot of people from the other side was telling, look here, don't start Lokayukta once again. Your government, you people will be in problem and all that. We have very consciously done this. I said, nothing doing. I'm not going to appeal, I'm going to strengthen it, and we have strengthened it. Secondly,
Okay.
why they closed, that was an interesting thing. More than 60 cases, complaints were there. They transferred to ACB. And every complaint, even with documented complaint with documents, was given B report. So this is the track record. And now we have given us opportunity through institution of Lokayukta. They can go to Lokayukta, file a case where a sitting Chief Justice, retired Chief Justice is there, and let them do the inquiry. We are open for it.
Okay. Sir, in your government, there have been many who have come from...
Therefore,
okay.
the real public perception is it has not stuck.
Okay. Sure. So, in your government, there are many who have come from Congress and JDS. Many of them have been made ministers as well. Has that upset some of your long-time BJP loyalists within the party? Today I was reading there's some candidate in KR Puram who's being placated. They are citing instances of 2 members who left your BJP party and joined Congress and won by-elections last couple of years.
You see, during election time, political tourism will be there.
Political tourism.
Yeah. So let us not give credence to that. But one thing I'll tell you that ours is a, as I said earlier, ours is a growing party, and we grow by accommodating. We grow by going together. And there is not even a single issue from the people who have come, and including our own old friends. So we know that together only we can win. And that is our forte.
So talking about your old friends, people are asking what is going to be the role of the veteran B.S. Yediyurappa in the upcoming elections in Karnataka. Today I'm quoting what Siddaramaiah said in a campaign rally in Gulbarga. He said that BJP has done grave injustice to Yediyurappa and that Mr. Bommai's government wantedly did not expand its cabinet because if they had to then include Raghavendra as minister. How will you respond to him?
See, I'll tell you, Mr. Siddaramaiah, I think he should better look after his party. And I want Parmeshwar to answer this question. What was injustice done to Mr. Parmeshwar? And what was injustice done to Kharge? None other than the AICC president during parliamentary election. What was injustice done by whom? And how different situations were created, and how the political cocktail was really brewing. So, lot of questions he has to answer himself. And as far as Yediyurappa ji is concerned, he need not worry about Yediyurappa. What happened during 2013 is, because Yediyurappa came out of BJP, thanks to Yediyurappa, Siddaramaiah became Chief Minister.
Thanks to Yediyurappa, Siddaramaiah became Chief Minister.
I had told in assembly that you should have a photograph of Yediyurappa in your office. But for the split in the vote, he would have never become Chief Minister. Yediyurappa is a very, very veteran, strong loyalist, Sangha man, and he has himself volunteered to come out. He said, party has been grateful. After 75, they allowed me up to 78 to become Chief Minister. Now my whole purpose of my political, he said, I'll never retire from politics. My whole aim is to bring back BJP strongly back in Karnataka. So he's doing that very sincerely, and he has been attending all public meetings, party meetings regularly. So there's no question of, and as I said on the first day I took Chief Minister, I have a blessing of Yediyurappa, and I will continue a lot of his policies, and I've been doing it. So there's no, Yediyurappa is our tallest leader, that position is there, and his blessing is there to entire BJP.
Okay. Sir, last time when we spoke, there was a lot of chatter about hijab and halal and rising communal incidents in Dakshin Kannada and so on. Has that narrative changed? What has your government done to
You
change
should say
narrative?
that now.
No, you tell me.
You should say that now, because last time your question had a high octane voice. Now it has come down.
Oh, my voice has come down.
That means that those are non-issues now.
They are non-issues. What do you make of Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra? He seems to have garnered a lot of crowds, particularly in Karnataka. He spent a good 15 days here. A lot of crowds came, but will that translate to votes?
See, I don't want to be very critical about Bharat Jodo Yatra. See, in this country, any man who walks gets attention, gets support. But what purpose ultimately, that matters much more as a result. One thing, as I have watched the Bharat Jodo Yatra, I feel that Rahul Gandhi has walked all these so many kilometers just to increase his own confidence within himself. Second thing is, he wants a changeover image. He himself has said in Kashmir, I am not the same Rahul Gandhi what you are thinking. So he wanted a changeover, and he has taken a really hard path and he has travelled. But as far as the traction is concerned, I don't think it has not made any political impact in any of the states.
Okay.
And you be in the national capital, by this time, you would have gone halla gulla on that. No halla gulla.
Today in Parliament also there has been almost a personal attack that Rahul Gandhi has made against the Prime Minister. Do you think that these personal attacks work in politics?
I don't know personal attacks, but as far as personal attacks on Narendra Modi has always strengthened him. He has been growing as he has been attacked. From Maut Ki Saudagar to so many names people had called him. Every time he has come back in a big way and he has grown, and same thing is going to happen.
But is BJP overly banking on Prime Minister and his image to win state elections like we saw in Gujarat recently? In Karnataka also the perception seems to be that Modi will deliver that extra 10 to 15%.
See, I'll tell you, why not? We have a Prime Minister. We have a Prime Minister who is accepted by the entire people of Karnataka and as well as the country. And we have got a Prime Minister who leads from front in every aspect, right from the domestic to the international. And we have got a Prime Minister who is been very, very forward-looking, visionary, and that's going to help Karnataka. And we are going in the path as far as policy making, both center and state, as a double engine government, and our performances have added to that. So if everything is in tune and it has been led by Prime Minister, why not?
So like you said, Karnataka was the largest recipient of foreign direct investment last year. It bagged almost 40% of the 80 billion that came in. And yet, last season, 3 days of monsoon rain and the IT corridor came down to its knees. What will you tell those IT companies
You asked
and
a
the
very
IT
good
employees?
question to me. I know that you love Bangalore. That's why you asked this question. There are rains in Chennai. Entire Chennai gets drowned. Right? That so-called canal, what is that? Buckingham
Canal.
Entire Chennai gets drowned. Bombay at least, few drops, it gets drowned. You take any growing city, because of the growth, it has created small hitches as far as roads are concerned, drains are concerned, and a heavy load on them. So there was a rain unprecedented in a short time, 50 years, highest rain in 24 hours. And naturally, Bangalore is a city of lakes, so lakes were overflowing, so they had to overflow. City has grown round the lakes. And as far as IT thing is concerned, it is in down south there, and up north all water goes there. And most of the IT people have hired the buildings, and these building owners, they have taken panchayat permissions, which now Panchayat has joined to BBMP. Otherwise, they had a panchayat permission and built huge buildings without any proper drainage systems. So all of a sudden it has happened, and we have got 18 constituencies in Bangalore, and only 2 constituencies there was problem for 2 days. But I don't know, people love Bangalore so much that even a small inconvenience, they create a big halal, especially the national media loves Bangalore more. Anything in Bangalore, they like it. Whereas a lot of things will be happening elsewhere, and probably you'll be too busy to just overlook them. But this doesn't take away my responsibility.
Sure.
On a serious note, we have now, first of all, we responded, we put out teams, we cleared it within 2 days. People are back in action, people are going to offices. One of my friend came from Delhi, and his wife called. अरे पूरा बेंगलुरु ड्राउन हो गया, आप कहाँ हैं, कैसे है? He said, अरे यार मैं तो आराम से हूँ, मैं रास्ते में घूम रहा हूँ, और 2 ऑफिस जाके आया, 2 काम हो गया है, तीसरा जा रहा हूँ कि यहाँ फ्लड ही नहीं है, अब क्या बात करते हो? This is the hard.
Okay. So I'll ask...
But on the serious note,
Sure.
we have now taken it up. I given more than 2,000 crores, and we are making the drains permanently and removing all the obstacles. And we are now end-to-end approach. We are doing it. And let me tell you, if this project is complete, there will be very little flooding in Bangalore.
Okay. I'll ask one final question and then we'll open it up to the audience. You are going to face the people. I think in about 3 to 4 weeks, the model code is going to come into effect. What is your one big idea, one big vision that you're going to tell the people of Bangalore and Karnataka if you get a second term?
I said there is no ifs. I have to give two visions, one for Karnataka and one for Bangalore. Karnataka is, I want to tell people of Karnataka that we have put both economy and governance on track, and the growth story should continue, and you will be one of the important factor on two counts. One is to continue the growth, you will be important factor, and second, you will be inclusive in that growth. So let's all of us together bring back BJP for Nava Karnataka. Through Nava Karnataka, we will build Nava Bharat.
Okay. All right. My colleague Harish is there, with the mic. Audience questions. We'll just open it up for a couple of questions because Sir has to leave for another engagement. So if somebody can pass the mic to Harish.
Hi, sir. Ever since coming to power in 2019, the BJP has been talking about corruption during Congress's regime, during Siddaramaia's regime. But one thing that we've noticed is we haven't seen any case going forward reaching a stage where people who indulged in corruption have been arrested. It leads to a perception where people are saying, idala adjustment politics, or ivrna bit kodala, ivrna bit kodala. How does the government counter this now, especially when you're going to people?
I think I have answered this because the entire 5-6 years was under ACB, so nothing was moving. Now Lok Ayuktha has come in last 3-4 months. You just see next 3-4 months what will be the results of all the complaints which have been filed in Lok Ayuktha.
Okay, so we'll have a lot of reporting happening from Parapanagrara then.
Yeah, certainly.
Okay.
Ritu has the mic. I think the gentleman there at the... Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, my question to our Honorable CM is that you are going to the next election, and now the coming budget is there. Karnataka needs for the government schools should be at par with the private schools. Why I am saying is doing 20-30 schools, just seeing that in a glamorous way in a television will not work. Unless we put into the education, giving the government schools, our children's at par education with the private schools, that is the demand for us. Thank you.
Sir.
See, I have given highest budget to education, and that will continue, number one. Number two, we are concentrating on infrastructure and on training with teachers and quality education. And this year, we have recruited 15,000 teachers. Next year also the continues. And 8,000 school rooms will be ideal school rooms. And we have given highest marks classes to all the colleges and PU colleges. And we are doing digitalization of education. Therefore, 100% there will be a big competition to private institutions by government schools.
I think the gentleman there has a question,
My name is B.S. Arun.
I think you'll have to switch off the mic or somebody will have to give him another mic. All right, in the meanwhile, I'll take a question from the gentleman here till...
Honorable Chief Ministers, we are very fortunate that I think people have been not acknowledging that Karnataka is the second highest GST tax collections, second highest in income tax collections. We're really fortunate after more than 30 years, both state and central government moving towards creating opportunities. What our Honorable CM has clearly mentioned,
What is your question, sir? Let's
Yeah.
get to the question.
Now, what is that actually like, the vision for Karnataka, what has been stored? We want more opportunities, the next generation wants more opportunities to create jobs. I think what our Honorable CM has stored for next generation.
Okay. What do you have for the next generation?
See, we have to have a twin approach as far as job-oriented growth. One is we have to identify the skills of our youth in different sectors. And there are certain sectors where employment is a very key factor, for example, in textiles and other things. So we have to encourage those industries where jobs are produced or given to more youngsters. The second one is all these large industries where they bring in technology and they bring in secondary jobs. So it is a intelligent way of managing both, because we need technology for growth as well as we need job-oriented manufacturing systems. That's how my employment policy is all about. And I'm incentiving, along with the capital incentives what we give, additionally I'm giving incentives for people who give more jobs.
All right. I think the gentleman there in the blue shirt, yeah.
P.S. Arun, a journalist. My question is, two small questions. One is, you have mentioned about the developmental works your government has carried out. The Prime Minister and the Home Minister have come here over the last few months several times and inaugurated several developmental works. When this is the issue, your party president says, don't bother about developmental works, bother only about love jihad. Hello. I want your answer to that. Is it not undermining your achievements? Number one. Number two, another question. None of the three parties here in Karnataka have announced chief ministerial candidate. Will your party be announcing a chief ministerial candidate?
He is the chief ministerial candidate, isn't he?
Chief ministerial candidate for the elections,
I'll answer.
like they did in Gujarat.
I'll answer. See, the first question is, all these issues like love jihad and all has been created, and they have been overblown. So my one single approach for all this thing is that we'll go by rule of law. Second one is, I have not allowed all these issues to affect my development, my growth, my welfare schemes, and my economic growth. It has never been affected. Otherwise, so much of investment, so much of growth, so much of tax collection could not have happened. And I think personally that if there is a very, very small, minuscule section who's doing all this on both the sides. So what I feel is, if the large section of the society really doesn't give the undue importance what it is getting now, then the whole ecosystem, the social ecosystem, will get corrected. Everything is in our mind. So what is important for you, that will be caught here. So please catch the right thing, everything will be all right.
And the second question? Are you the chief ministerial candidate?
See, as far as, it's very simple. They have said that we will go to the election under the leadership of the Chief Minister. And as far as selecting the Chief Minister, it is a traditional in our party that Parliamentary Board will take the ultimate decision.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Basavaraj Bommai ji.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for speaking with us. And you've made the promise that if you were to win the election back, you will come and give us the first interview.
It is an equal promise by you also to call me.
For sure. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause for Shri Basavaraj Bommai?
A big thank you to the Honorable Chief Minister and our Managing Editor Zaka Jacob for that very engaging conversation. A conversation that sets the tone and tenor for the electoral process which is due in the state of Karnataka. Well, lots coming up in the next few minutes. We have a power-packed line of sessions for you, interesting conversations from the world of academia, cinema, art, history, much more that you're going to hear on this very stage today. Well, the city of Bengaluru has much to offer. Different people, different historians.